Hello everyone, I'm Rob the Robot from the Adobe Education team, and I would like to welcome you to the Inject Creativity Live Show. This is an online show for educators interested in digital creativity. This show is live on the Adobe for Education YouTube channel, as well as other social media, and past recordings can be viewed via bit.ly/Adobe-Inject. Any teacher, whether an Adobe user or not, in any K-12 or higher education sector and any subject area is welcome. Here are your hosts, Dr. Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Thanks, Rob, and welcome to this very special final Inject Creativity Live show for 2021, the online show that aims to encourage educators to empower the next generation to be lifelong creators. Welcome, Erin.
Hi, Tim, and a very special welcome to everyone who's joined us live for this show being recorded at the special time of 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday, the 7th of December, 2021, via the Adobe for Education YouTube channel, as well as the Australasian Adobe and Education Facebook group. We encourage you to say hi in the chat and let us know where you are from and where you teach.
While you're in the chat sharing a bit about yourself, we'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. We respect and honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders past, present and future, as well as all Indigenous people from the lands we reach out to during this event.
We acknowledge their stories, traditions and living cultures. We acknowledge them as the first peoples in our lands, the first scientists and the first creatives, and we commit to building a brighter future together.
During this episode, we'll be announcing the winners of the 2021 ANZ Adobe Education Leader of the Year.
We will also be enjoying a special demo from New South Wales Adobe Education Leader Ross Johnson.
We'll be promoting a number of Adobe-related education resources, including the new Adobe in a Box series with the Khan Academy.
And our behind-the-scenes guru, Adobe Customer Success Manager Jerry Wong, will have a special quiz question for us.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
All right, let's have a look at who has joined us live for this final broadcast. Mark Wazowski from New South Wales is saying hello to everyone. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. And it looks like John is a regular from Toowoomba, not far from where you are, Erin.
Not that far at all.
Which is great. Oh, we've got, let me pronounce her name properly if I can. Is it Bahia? Good morning from Egypt. I think we've had Bahia in the past, and I've been able to greet her in Arabic. So I'll say, Marhaba kif halik Bahia, alhamdulillah. Hopefully I didn't offend her. Timothy Cosgrove. And again, a regular. Now, Erin, you know Tim. Tell us where Tim is from.
He's joining us all the way from Canada, and it is some sort of ridiculous o'clock there in the morning, isn't it? Is it? Oh no, it won't be as bad because we're broadcasting at this special time. It's a bit later, so it's I think a wholesome 5:30 in the morning or something, isn't it, Timothy?
He'll tell us, I think, in the chat as we go. But it does look very cold in Toronto. And John is also doing a special welcome to Bahia, which is lovely. Thank you, John. And Mark is introducing himself in the chat and there's other little conversations. Let's see who else is with us. We've got Ben. There we go. Saying, g'day all, Merry Christmas, and thank you for everything this year. Good on you, Ben. Thanks for being part of the audience regularly this year. And Juliet Bentley has joined us. I think she's having a special holiday, I hear, in Bribie Island at the moment, Juliet. So it's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for taking time away from your holiday.
I was an hour off, Tim. It's 4:30 in the morning in Toronto.
Well, you were pretty close, which is great. And Bahir is saying thank you, or shukran, as she would say. All right, that's enough of that. Let's jump into the show and let's just hear from Rob the Robot again before we go any further. Over to you, Rob.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Thanks, Rob. Now, Jerry, I'll get you. I know we love hearing from Bahia, but I'll get to remove her banner just at the moment, if you wouldn't mind. That'd be good. So thanks, Rob. Let's welcome our good friend and the Inject Creativity Live moderator and techie whiz, Jerry Wong. I was just talking to you, Jerry. Thank you very much for doing.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'll be looking out for your comments and questions in the chat and posting the most relevant ones. To encourage you to use the live chat, I have an Adobe-related quiz question for you. Besides Adobe Spark, what 2 other Adobe apps are now freely available to all K-12 schools?
There you go. And it was a relatively recent announcement too. So it'll be interesting to see who is able to tell us what are the other 2 apps that are now available in all K-12 schools globally, pretty much. I'm just looking at the chat now to see if we've got an answer. Nothing's coming up just yet. A few people are having a chat saying hello. Let's see Chris Becker with us. Hello, Chris. But no one's given us a response yet. We'll give it a couple more seconds to see if we can get an answer. And, actually, we've got
some answers.
We do. So Juliet was the first up. She's got one of them right, which is Premier Rush. So let's give her a round of applause. Well done, Juliet. And it looks like Tim Cosgrove has also said Spark Rush. I'm not quite sure if that's a new product that I haven't heard of yet, but I think he's trying to say Adobe Spark and Rush. But what's the other app that's now freely available for all K-12 schools?
Can I give a hint?
Sure, go for it.
That this particular product was recently got a little bit of a rebrand and an amalgamation earlier this year from some other things that were available.
I think Juliet's trying to give us the right answer there. She's Jerry. Sorry, Jerry, you brought it up and I brought it off again. Do you want to bring it back up again for us? Because I love it as Juliet, as an English teacher, has done Photoshop Express, and really she's trying to say Express, and she's absolutely.
Hey, the keys
well
were
done,
so
Juliet.
close. They were next to each other on the keyboard. So well done, Juliet.
There you go. So that's worth noting, folks, that every K-12 school now not only has access to Adobe Spark through the Adobe Admin Console, but if they go and have a look at the Adobe Admin Console, which is the way you manage all your Adobe apps through your school, you'll notice that you now have access to Photoshop Express and Premiere Rush for all of your students, even the under 13s. And that's something to definitely take advantage of, especially when we start the new year. So, Jerry, is there any other information we need to give to anyone just to make sure that they know about the Adobe Admin Console? Like if a teacher has no idea what we're talking about when it comes to the Admin Console, where should they go?
Well, they actually don't need to do anything. If they already had Rush, it's actually all going to be turned on automatically. So if you've had access to access to Spark, it's automatically going to give you access to Photoshop Express and Premiere Rush at the same time. So IT doesn't even need to do anything. Just try it out.
Excellent. So go and enjoy the fact that you've got those 2 extra products for free in all K-12 schools, which is really cool.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Rathke.
Well, it is our pleasure to now officially announce the inaugural winners of the ANZ Adobe Education Leader of the Year. The criteria for this award included needing to be from Australia or New Zealand, hence the ANZ part of the award.
Being an active member of the AEL community.
The number of points gained on the Adobe Education Exchange in 2021.
Participation with Adobe in education events like this one.
Recruiting teachers to the Adobe Creative Educator program.
And the number and type of professional learning events run for their own and wider education communities.
The first prize for this award is an iPad and Apple Pencil.
Second prize is a $500 Amazon gift voucher.
Third prize, a $200 Amazon gift voucher, all thanks to the ANZ Adobe Public Sector team. As we announce each winner, they will come onto the stage so that we can congratulate them. Before we announce this year's winners, I would like to thank all the Adobe education leaders who have helped drive the adoption of Adobe applications in schools and universities around the planet. I'd like to note that the Adobe education leaders who we occasionally contract to do work for us during the year, such as Erin, are not eligible for this award. So with that in mind, coming in third place for the 2021 ANZ Adobe Education Leader of the Year and winning a $200 Amazon gift voucher is, wait for it, Adobe Education Leader from Northern Territory, Mark Christie. Let's give him a big round of applause. Let's bring Mark up to the stage. There he is. Great. And
hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. What an honor. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone. It's great.
And thank you for all the work that you've done during the year and for your amazing submission that you put in for this award when you went through it. And you did some terrific little videos that just captured all the things that you've been doing. Did you realize how much Adobe stuff you've been doing during the year?
It does take up a fair amount of my life, but it's so good because it's what we're doing for the kids and the difference that we're making. It feels like seconds, but it obviously does extend throughout most of my working time.
And those interactions and the creativity that you're stimulating through your work, I'm sure, is incredibly meaningful for all of the students and the teachers that you touch. So great work.
That's fantastic. Thanks.
Good on you, Mark. We'll take you off the stage for the moment because we need to announce the second place. So we'll see you in a few minutes, Mark.
So coming in at second place for the 2021 ANZ Adobe Education Leader of the Year and winning a $500 Amazon gift voucher is...
There's the drum roll.
Adobe Education Leader from Queensland, Juliet Bentley.
Well done, Juliet. Very exciting. There she is. She's on the stage now. We need to warn everyone that she's just tethering her phone with us at the moment, so we may not get the best connection. Let's try it now, Juliet. Oh, that sounded terrible. But congratulations.
Fingers crossed.
Did that
go
through loud and clear? Congratulations, Juliet.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's fantastic. It's exciting.
And you had a fantastic submission to and all the work that you've been doing, and not just for your own community, but for the wider community. And over the past few years, the opportunities you've had to reach out to an international community, you've done some incredible work.
I've been very lucky. I really have. It's been a real treat, and it's really stretched me and taken me to places I would never have expected to go. So yeah, I'm really thrilled. And thank you so much for the award. That's fantastic.
And what I really like about the work that you're doing, Juliet, is when I first met you, you were almost like a technophobe, like one of those teachers that just kind of avoided new technologies, but then you discovered Spark. And to see the way that you've blossomed as a technology educator, even though your subject areas are religious education and English, it's just been such a good inspiration for all sorts of teachers who are not sort of IT media teachers.
And especially since that reach is now global as well. Like you've presented internationally. That is amazing.
It has been fantastic. And of course, I've stretched what I was doing with Adobe, and I took it into the Asia Europe Foundation and taught teachers in Asia and Europe and on these different conferences how to use Adobe Spark particularly. It was like normal moments, but they were fabulous, and that's fed into projects I'm running now. So yeah, I'm really thrilled that the growth that's taken place over the last 6-7 years. It's been fabulous.
Well, congratulations again. We'll catch up with you a little bit later in the show. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, the inaugural winner of the ANZ Adobe Education Leader of the Year, who has won an iPad and Apple Pencil, is Adobe Education Leader from New South Wales, Craig Delmeyer Power. Let's give him a big cheer. There it is. That's just more than a round of applause. That's a big cheer. It goes on for quite a while. So the cheer is now fading out. There we go. It's fading. And congratulations, Craig. Well done.
Thanks, Tim. Look, I feel really privileged and honoured to receive such an important award, the Adobe Education Leader of the Year for Australia and New Zealand. Look, I'm really sincerely grateful for this recognition I've received for my work, because I'm sure that all the other nominees of this award would be capable, if not more, of winning this award as well. Look, this year we've had several challenges, obviously, but each one of those challenges have actually helped us strengthen, and as a person, I'm passionate about my education and others as well, and that's something that I pride myself on. And reaching out across sort of the global AL community has been something I sort of wasn't until I started writing down for this nomination. I sort of went, I didn't think I actually did much this year until I actually started writing it down, going, wow, actually, there's been lots of really good connections. And I think with that, I wouldn't have received this because my peers and my colleagues, I have the deepest respect for all of them. And I've derived the strength for the challenges over this year from them. So I think it's almost, not just my award, I think it's also their award as well.
Oh, wonderful. Retrospectively, when you were looking back through everything you've done throughout this year, especially in the Adobe community, what was the thing that you sort of found the most surprising? Was it the amount of hours or the amount of workshops that you've done, or was it a particular project that you really extended yourself for? Or?
It was just that it was constantly there all the time. Yeah. I was just sort of going back. I actually just opened up, my Outlook and my calendar and just started going through. Oh, okay, yep. Oh, I jumped in at 4 a.m. at that one there, and then quite regularly I was jumping with, say, the guys in Colorado and having a chat with them, or Mateus in the Netherlands. So it's doing that sort of cross pollination and sort of connecting with them as well, and that's something I'm looking forward to. Even with the small AL groups, is really engaging with them as well on new projects for the new year.
Yeah.
So I can just see
because of course you would have been able to include your stuff on Behance that you've done this year as well.
That's right, and then also from that doing Discord as well, which is another spin-off from that as well.
Well, Craig, look what I have here. This is a very special trophy which has your name on it, and I'm going to put it back in part of its packaging, and we've got a new bit of technology here. I'm going to see if this will work. So as I pass it to you through the camera, let's see what could possibly happen. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. How did that actually work? That just blows me away. That itself deserves a round of applause, I think. Ah dear, that'll do. Don't need that much of a round of applause. Craig, thank you so much for your contribution. Well deserved. And I just want to let all the other Adobe education leaders in Australia and New Zealand know that Craig is not eligible for this award again for another 2 years. So there are opportunities for all of you to be involved in this, and we encourage you. Hopefully we'll run the award again next year. Still waiting to get clearance on budget for all of that, but hopefully we will, and that gives you an opportunity to shine for the last episode of Inject Creativity Live next year as well. So thanks again, Craig, and I would like to congratulate all three. Let's bring them all up again now if we can, Jerry. Bring them all up, all three winners. There we are. And I want to thank you for the contribution you have made to help enhance digital literacy and creativity with your colleagues and students, not only to your own education communities, but to the wider education world.
And between the three of you, you have helped run over 100 professional learning events with the Adobe team or on your own. You are all wonderful examples of what the Adobe Education Leader program is all about. Craig, Juliet, and Mark will join us again later in this show.
Let's give them all another final big round of applause. Well done. Thanks, guys.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Oh, Erin, nice little costume change. It almost came off too. Well done.
Nearly got it. Nearly got it. Tangled.
Adobe Education Leaders. Now, you've just seen three of the best for this year. Now, they're part of the highest level of Adobe's education community program, a very exclusive program with only about 64 teachers qualifying in the Australasian region.
Adobe Education leaders are active members of the Adobe Education Exchange and are very passionate about using Adobe applications to enhance digital literacy, communication, and creativity skills in schools and universities.
They regularly share this passion with a network of educators wider than their own school or faculty and help support the work of the Adobe in Education teams around the globe.
If you're interested in becoming an AEL, the first step is to do the Adobe Creative Educator program and get your ACE Level 1 and 2 badges at adobe.ly/ACE.
When you've been involved with the ACE program and shown that you are part of a wider network of educators, you could be in line to be nominated to be an AEL, an Adobe Education Leader. And maybe one day you too could be one of the ANZ AELs of the Year winners like Craig, Juliet, and Mark.
It's well worth the effort if you are keen to be inspired by an international network of creative educators, connect directly with and support the Adobe Education team, and run professional learning for your network with free Adobe software and merchandise.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Rathke.
Thanks, Rob. Rob's doing a great job, isn't he? As he always does. Really appreciate it. Now let's welcome Adobe Education Leader from New South Wales, Ross Johnson, to the stage.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Now, Ross, welcome back to the show. For those who haven't met you yet, tell us about where you teach and your role at the school.
So I'm the head teacher of information technology at Tuggerah Lakes Secondary College Tumbiumbi campus on the beautiful New South Wales Central Coast. I've been in the role for about 15 years now and seen many, many changes over that 15 years and still loving the job.
Now, Ross, a question we ask most of our guests: what is something interesting about you that not many people would know?
Well, not a lot of people would know because it only happened about an hour ago. And I'll just put it up on my screen. Can everyone see the half a tree that fell onto
there it is.
our front yard?
Oh, so, my goodness, look at that.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a storm activity here in Wallsend.
Just a little bit, by the looks of it.
A little bit.
I hope you weren't emotionally attached to your fence.
No, not really. I'm just happy that everyone's safe and we're all inside and heard a massive sound and out we go, and no one expected to have that in your front yard.
I'm so grateful for you. It looks like it might have clipped your guttering, but it didn't actually go through the roof. So I'm take out your power cable right there.
Yeah, it missed all of that. Otherwise, it would have been quite difficult for tonight.
Yes, just a wee bit complicated.
So, yeah.
All right.
So that would have been very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ross, tell us what you're going to be sharing tonight.
Well, tonight I'm going to look at putting Adobe tools into assessment in the 7 to 10 middle school sphere. I'm going to show you 3 examples of how we've done that over the last 2 years after we did an assessment audit, and sort of showcase 3 things that we've had very much good success with at our campus.
And I've seen similar sessions from you in the past, and I'm sure there's going to be relevance for primary teachers as well, and even those who are teaching up in the senior secondary and even university level. So stay tuned for that session coming up. So thanks, Ross. We're looking forward to hearing from you very soon.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Rathke.
Recently, Adobe launched Adobe in a Box with Khan Academy, a project-based series for learners of all ages.
In the first module, learners can practice creative thinking and video editing skills while developing an explainer video.
They'll get help along the way with tips, guidance, and structured activities from experts at Khan Academy and Adobe.
There is also a competition for students titled the Explainer Video Challenge to encourage students to create a 1 to 2 minute video explaining a concept.
This is open to students 13 and older. Prizes include a mobile video production kit, as well as one-on-one coaching with an Adobe content producer.
Go to the Adobe Education Exchange and search for Khan to find out more. The following video also provides more information.
I have yet to face a topic that when you view it right, it can't be wondrous, it can't be exciting, it can't be intuitive.
Really show yourself in your video.
Get excited about it.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Over 150,000 educators have enrolled in Adobe Education Exchange courses this year so far.
Tim, let's show everyone how to find the course options on the Adobe Education Exchange. Now that we're heading into a non-teaching time, this would be a great opportunity to get a few of these courses completed.
Well, Erin, I have got the Education Exchange up on my shared screen here. And as you can see, there are three main tabs at the top left-hand corner. Let me just bring my highlighter up. By default, it goes to teaching resources, but if you slide across to professional learning and click that tab, what will happen is it'll start opening up the most recent of the courses. Although in this case, it's not the most recent, it's probably the most popular of the courses, it looks like. And you could scroll through and have a look at those and see if you're interested. But what I want to draw your attention to is this button, which a lot of people forget about or leave out or aren't aware of, called View All Self-Paced Courses. So when you click on that one, this gets you access to all the courses. You can see how long they go for, how many teachers are already doing or have completed the course. And as we scroll through, you can see a whole range. A lot of them would be new to many of you. All of them are incredibly valuable. Some of them probably more relevant than others, but we do have 3 pages of courses now that are constantly being updated and worked on, and new ones being added to. Over on the left-hand side, there's a search engine that helps you to refine your search if you want to look for courses that relate to particular products or particular areas. So that's just a little part of the Education Exchange that I wanted you all to be very aware of. So please share these resources with your colleagues and your wider education networks. They're all free and they're well worth doing.
Join the over 150,000 teachers who have already completed an Adobe Education Exchange course this year.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Thanks, Rob. With Christmas holidays only just around the corner, it's also a great time to catch up on what we may have missed from the virtual Adobe Max conference that was held at the end of October this year.
The sessions will remain available via the max.adobe.com site for many months to come.
And to find the education-related sessions from this year's event, check out max.adobe.com/sessions/educators.
Including sessions from our ANZ AELs of the year, Juliet Bentley and Craig Delmeyer Power. Speaking of AELs, we are about to hear from Ross Johnson.
Hi folks, we are about to be inspired by an AEL, an Adobe Education Leader. AELs are passionate about the use of Adobe tools to inspire creative learning and teaching experiences in the delivery of either primary, secondary or post-secondary curricula. The first step to becoming an AEL is to be an ACE, an Adobe Creative Educator, via edx.adobe.com/adobe-creative-educator. You don't have to be an Adobe expert to be an ACE, just a teacher interested in engaging students through creative digital learning experiences. The ACE program is a free international micro-credentialing program. It only takes a few hours to earn your level 1 badge, and the focus is on creativity rather than Adobe. Please share this program with your colleagues and get involved. Who knows, you may one day also become an Adobe Education Leader.
It's a delight to welcome back Adobe Education Leader Ross Johnson to the stage. Over to you, Ross.
Well, thanks for having me, everybody. I'm just going to share my PowerPoint. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at using Adobe and assessment in the middle years high school. I've worked in middle years high school environment for the last 21 years now, and I'm still very, very passionate about both creativity and the and getting creativity into the middle years high school to transfer that onto to senior school in year 11 and 12. So creativity and assessment can be friends. They're best friends. We know that already. That's why we're here. Now, why did we look at Adobe tools as part of our assessment process? Well, in start of 2020, we had an assessment audit, and we showed that we had too many tasks that were just too similar, and that similarity wasn't really helping out the greater proportion of our students. And we needed to adjust our tasks. We needed to differentiate to cater for the broader range of our learners in our year 7 to 10 environment, which is obviously a part of our job. And students themselves, when we took some surveys, were asking to have creativity in their assessment. Let's just have something different, please. Staff are ready to explore, learn, and create, because this was just prior to our first lockdown in New South Wales. So it was a perfect time for them to be able to implement some of this new learning material. Now, today's presentation is just going to be a snapshot of our change. And I'm going to highlight 3 things in particular. We're going to look at a year 8 assessment tool using Spark, a year 9 one using Adobe Illustrator, and a favourite of mine, my year 10 IST assessment task using Photoshop. And I have to say, none of our change would have been possible without the phenomenal resource that is the Adobe Education Exchange. So the 3 assessment tasks that we have modelled around are from 3 things that are off the Education Exchange. Our first one that I'm going to show you today is from Year 8 English, and it's to do with visual literacy assessment. And what we were doing is meme creation, analysis, and annotation. So this was, firstly, this task was originally nothing to do with any Adobe tools at all, and it was a multiple choice task and a comprehension task. So the head teacher of English asked me, what could we do? So we both looked at Adobe Education Exchange, and we found this task, which became particularly relevant during the COVID times. We know that the kids interact with memes, and they're an important part of our culture, and this project brought that relevance into the classroom. And we knew that Adobe Spark empowers our students to have that multimedia analysis. This was part of the task. Just some how to use Adobe Spark. So part of the tool set was to give the kids some instructions on how to use Adobe Spark in the best way possible. So that was part of the digital design tools. Here's our rubric. These are the 4 big things that we were hoping to get out of our task. And we're looking at critical thinking. What did they choose to write about? What did they choose to make their meme about? And then that innovative thinking, how did they extend that idea, and what are they questioning? What topic did they pick? We've got, obviously, a big one is communication and using that particular medium to do so, visual text and telling the story. But a big one that it didn't have before was, of course, graphic design principles. Digital design principles are a big part of that. So each of these 4 parts as part of the assessment task were assessed individually. Here are a couple of examples. These are from Year 8, and the top one is from one of my Year 8 IT students about Clean Master. The bottom one was one of the students that was not really impressed by the fact that lockdown was going to go for another 4 weeks during that particular time. So it brought in a sense of relevance for the students, but it also brought in that element of creativity into what they needed to do as part of their visual storytelling. Here's one of the winning ones. It was based upon language tools used by salesmen, and they've done an excellent job of annotating their meme. Now, the Year 9 one, I had a hand in the Year 9 one, and it was the 4 icon challenge. And originally, I got the idea from the 4 icon challenge to show some of my English colleagues. I got it from one of the Adobe education courses that I did myself as part of my AEL course. It was fantastic. Loved it. Been using it in my classroom for a while, but it easily transferred into the English classroom. And they had to create that digital narrative by using Adobe Illustrator to create 4 icons. So they had developed skills, pick which actual, which movie, series, picture, book that they were going to do their 4 icon challenge for, and then create it using Adobe Illustrator. This one's my example that I used when I did the course, and of course it's Star Wars: A New Hope. What did we want to get out of it? So the main project was the significance of objects and themes in storytelling, and that was the big one that we wanted to do. Other than the fact that we obviously wanted to bring in that fundamentals of graphic design and digital graphics. So we want critical digital skills, collaboration, creativity, problem solving, and decision making. That what icons am I going to use and how am I going to put my story across? Discussions of our key themes, and of course, the fundamentals of graphic design and digital graphics. Here's a couple of our student examples, of course. This is a particularly relevant one with Squid Game being very, very popular. And the next one, this is Cruella. So student liked that particular 101 Dalmatians, and then liked the movie, and then developed the 4 icon challenge based upon Cruella, which was, I think it's very, very well done. And the third one. Now, I have a particularly vested interest in this one because I've been teaching this one for a while, and my IST students love it. Absolutely love creating their own soft drink brand, just to put them in the mindset of being in the creative team. So we sort of have this as they're working for me. I'm the boss, they're the creation team, create the soft drink. So put them in that authentic learning. They have to create a brand using Photoshop. They need to include both sides of the can, and it cannot contain any copyrighted material whatsoever. So they can't just have something that sounds like Kit Kats or like cola with a K or anything that cannot. As soon as they get an idea, they have to research it to make sure that it doesn't already exist. They create a new information poster and a flyer, like a fridge poster. They have to fill out a design brief to outline to me, the manager, about what the creation is going to be, who's it pitched towards. They have to create an infographic outlining the benefits. So this would go into a newspaper or into a magazine, outlining the benefits of purchasing this particular item. And of course, everyone loves merch. And part of that merch is designing a t-shirt that goes with the new soft drink brand. So these are the 6 parts of this IST Year 10 Rosa task. What do we want from the students here? We want to get that problem solving out of them using creative solutions, using their own creative solutions. We want them to analyze their processes. Why did they choose that? Why did they choose the particular software solutions to make this particular product, and how to do it, how to communicate their ideas. Those soft skills are part of this. Acquire and manipulate the data and information in an ethical manner. And of course, digital graphic design tools as part of conveying meaning to a targeted market. That authoring and multimedia is very, very essential to this particular task. So these are some of the things that we're looking at learning and assessing: fundamentals of product design and packaging, fundamentals of market viewpoints and market strategies, learn how to analyze market outcomes. Who are we going to make this for? Who are we targeting? What market are we trying to break into? That learners can develop for themselves that product evaluation power, storyboarding, prototyping, development, sharing, communication, and of course, digital creativity skills. And they have to present their IT ideas to the class in like a Shark Tank type situation, which is a fantastic experience. Now, here's some of our examples. This is one of my top students, and they created the product called Heavy Nitro. You can feel the rush and you can taste the nitro. So it's it's like an energy drink. So you can see the product on the left that was created in Photoshop and then rendered into a 3D model. And in the middle, this is his fridge advertising flyer. Here are three more examples. So on the left-hand side, we've got Snuggler Boogler. Never heard of that before. It was quite interesting. The one in the middle is quite interesting. It's called Down, and it was from a student that I was his brother's teacher 2 years ago. And on this particular assessment task, his brother made up. So he thought he might make down, which was quite clever. And we have over here, the Death Wish energy drink. Here are some of my examples of the fridge labels. So obviously the Globos ones are pitched at a particular tradies market. Acid Rain in the middle is another energy drink. And the extraterrestrial, it's going to send you into space as well. So you can see where the teenage boy market is heading towards when we're doing this particular project. So I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity for sharing our transformation and our use of Adobe tools in our assessment tasks. And if any of you want to follow some of our work and the path we're doing, here's my Twitter handle, the Nikon Kid, and thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you, Ross. Much appreciated. Great job. And your students are very lucky to have you as a teacher, and all the creative things that are happening there, and fitting in beautifully with the curriculum. So a fantastic guide of what is possible. So thank you, Ross. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
During November, we ran the first of a series of live and online professional learning and networking opportunities from Adobe called Adobe Teach Meets.
I am in the wrong spot, Tim.
Oh, it's all right, because
there
I've got
it is.
a special
Tim
video.
has put together this special video promotion for the new Adobe Teach Meets program.
The Adobe Teach Meets program is a set of free and online creative professional learning opportunities for teachers in any subject area and any level who have access to Adobe applications. Each Teach Meet session involves a choice of online practical workshops, both for teachers who are new to Adobe and those who are experienced users. Each workshop is led by an Adobe education leader who is a practicing classroom, primary, secondary or higher education teacher, or they're led by members of the Adobe education team. All of these leaders are passionate about enhancing students' digital literacy, communication and creativity skills. Each TeachMeet session will run for 2 consecutive afternoon evenings twice a term throughout 2022, starting at 4 p.m. Melbourne, Sydney time. The sessions are not recorded. They are live workshops with links to key practical resources and how-to guides for follow-up. Registration in advance is required. Any teacher who has access to Adobe tools will benefit from the Adobe TeachMeets program. So look up adobe.ly/teachmeets or scan this QR code to find out more and register for the sessions you would like to attend. Let all your colleagues know about this free online and creative professional learning opportunity from Adobe.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Aaron Rathke.
Thanks, Rob. He is doing a great job, isn't he, Aaron? That Rob, very impressive. Look, we have a couple of special announcements for New South Wales and Victorian teachers about some opportunities for students in 2022.
Throughout next year, Adobe is running a series of Adobe Creativity Challenges for New South Wales and Victorian students in years 5 to 9.
Adobe Creativity Challenges are all about students working with a team to design and share a digital solution based on a brief from an organisation or a global problem, very similar to what Ross was just showing you. But in this case, it'll actually be a real-life organisation or a real-life global problem.
So find out more at adobe.ly/challenges-year 5 to 9. Links below. The digital solutions are made with Adobe's amazing creativity tools and are usually a short video, a mobile app design, or a web page. This is a great way for students to learn Adobe tools and develop a range of important collaboration, digital literacy, communication, problem solving, and creativity skills.
Victorian and New South Wales students in years 9 to 12, as well as any teacher from anywhere, are invited to register for a special 2.5-day Adobe Premiere Pro workshop during the Easter holidays.
This is a great opportunity to spend quality time learning a great industry standard application.
This is a free and online intensive workshop that will also involve a showcase and the chance for 3 lucky students to win one of 2 iPads and Apple Pencils, as well as a pocket gimbal camera.
Look up adobe.ly/video workshop 22 to find out more about the Adobe Holiday Video Challenge workshop, which is being run by Dr. Tim Kitchen from Adobe and will be held from April 11 to 14 during the school holidays.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Aaron Rathke.
Well, let's bring up our guests to the stage, the AELs of the year, as well as Ross. Let's bring them all up onto the stage. I've actually asked them to share a highlight of 2021 in relation to the Adobe in Education Adoption Program. Erin?
And if you have a highlight that comes to mind for those who are joining us live, please mention it in the chat so we can share it as well.
All right, let's go around the circle here. Let's start with Juliet. Let's start with you, Juliet. What's been a highlight for you this year?
I think for me, working with Matt Niemitz and a teacher in California, Jessica Campbell, and presenting at Adobe Max was pretty damned fantastic. And that came so shortly after presenting at the Adobe Summit, the AELs. And having the opportunity to work with people across the globe is probably one of the highlights for me, because I get to talk to people from very diverse backgrounds. And we're all doing the same sorts of things, but so differently. And learning from one another, I think, is key. So, yay, that's probably the highlight for me. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Adobe, for making it possible.
It's probably worth also mentioning a little shout out to Matt Niemitz, who's actually now moved on from Adobe to another role outside of our company, but he's been absolutely instrumental in driving the Adobe Education Exchange from day one with one member right through, and that was him, right through to what it is now with well over 1 million teachers involved. So thank you, Matt. If you're watching this, I know you've got other things happening in your world in Atlanta, Georgia, with your beautiful family there, and we really appreciate the work that you've been doing. All right, Ross Johnson, a highlight for you this year.
A highlight for me, Tim, was more of a local example because, of course, we were in lockdown in New South Wales for about 17 weeks or so. And in that time, the Adobe Education Exchange and Spark and Rush and all of those tools that were readily available to both our teachers and our students were indispensable in that time. And without those tools, there would have been, as I was saying in my particular presentation, we would have had that non-differentiated curriculum and just that same old. So when we had a chance to be able to promote creativity and learning, be a bit more different, we took that chance. And without the Adobe Education Exchange, we couldn't have done that.
Well, that's amazing, Ross, and it's great to hear that. In fact, I'm going to bring Jerry up. Jerry, I'm going to bring you up especially onto the stage because Jerry is the Customer Success Manager for the New South Wales Department of Education, which is one of only 2 education systems certainly in this part of the world, that centrally provides all the Adobe applications to every one of their schools. And so that's why your school has access to it without having to pay a cent, because the government has provided it for you and has given your students that opportunity. And Jerry, you help drive that on a daily basis. You're constantly, in fact, even today, you met the new head or the new equivalent to the CIO of the New South Wales Department of Education. You keep driving those relationships so that software can be continually developed and driven to those schools. Jerry, what were your thoughts when you heard Ross talk about the way the tools are being used?
Well, I'm glad that you guys are using the tools because it was a little bit of effort to try and get all that software and access available to over 1 million users across the Department of Education, New South Wales. So yeah, to hear that makes me sort of feel that, look, our hard work actually is helping people. So thanks for that, Ross.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for all the hard work.
Because it is, New South Wales Department of Education is the second largest education system on the planet. I know that's pretty hard to believe, but that's just how many schools and students and teachers that are within that system. I think Victorian Department of Education and Training is the 3rd largest from what I've heard. So we're dealing with massive, massive organizations there. I think the largest is actually New York City or New York State. I'm not entirely sure, but it's incredible to see what's happening in New South Wales. So thank you for sharing that, Ross. That's terrific. Let's move over to Craig, the winner.
Hey, Tim, you wanted to just select one. That's really hard for this year. But the most recent one that I think I found, the most inspirational this year is the Teach Meets. Coming to those and actually sharing, collaborating with others, and even just exploring the different software parts. And so each night I've been sort of going to each one of them and having a different group of people and exploring different ways that they're actually using the software in the classroom or wanting to use it. So they'll go, is it possible to do this? And then just spending that time and just chatting with them and then going, okay, well, let's resolve this. Let's see how we can actually use it. And I found that really inspirational. And that's going to sort of push me forward into the new year.
Good on you, Craig. And of course, that's a relatively new program. We only started it in November this year, ready for next year in February, where we continue the program. And Craig, you had, from memory, did you have a time when it was just one-on-one at any point, or did you have more than one?
Yeah, I had 2 of the sessions that I did, which were one-on-ones, and they were really, sort of, they were really chuffed that they were able to just go, okay, I want to know about this.
Yes.
And we were able to sit down and just chat it through and just go, well, actually, I was supposed to be in XD, but let's just go into the other software.
Nice.
And bring it across and show how it all interconnects with each other as well.
Yes. Nice bit of cross-pollination. Yeah.
Yeah, like when Ross was just showing the one with Photoshop, I sort of went, "Ooh, dimension could be used with that, definitely." And so we would go down that pathway.
That is so cool. And it's not often that a teacher gets that one-on-one engagement with an Adobe expert like yourself, Craig. So we really appreciate the fact that you're putting your hand up so many times to help lead those sessions and run those workshops, not knowing whether you'll get anybody coming to your workshop, because that's the nature of a teach meet. The teachers kind of randomly choose whichever ones they want to go to on the day. And unfortunately, some of our AELs have prepped for a session and no one's gone to their session. But one of the things we're going to be making sure that we do, particularly in February and from now on, is to make sure that each teacher who creates a workshop has their resource on the Adobe Education Exchange, but then I share the link to that to everyone who's registered for an Adobe Teach Meet. So if they didn't get to your course or your course didn't actually run at the time, the resource is still there and valued. So there's some of the things we're learning as we run these particular Teach Meet programs. Thank you, Craig. Much appreciated. Mark Christie, Northern Territory Department of Education.
So for me, it's a little bit like Ross's experience, where it's a story in two parts, where we wanted to create sustainability of Adobe in schools. And what that means is you don't want to have a program with Adobe that the kids are using Adobe and then suddenly the next year it's not around for them to use. That's not good for the kids or the teachers. So I'm really pleased that it's taken about 2 years to create this overnight success, which is getting Adobe into as many schools as possible. And then that leads to the next part, which is Haas Bluff or some remote little community has turned around and said, "Oh, gee, can I get Adobe Creative Cloud? Because I want to actually use that." And they're in the most remote little community and they're using it. And then they're coming back in and going, "What's this character animator thing again?" And you've actually grabbed them, you've got them, and they're engaging with these tools that you've opened their eyes up to it, and the excitement just goes on from there. And then, of course, you get to Max, where it's like Christmas, and you open it up and the new stuff. And then you've got the reason to go and run those next lot of sessions. So it's a story in 3 parts, not 2. But anyway, you get where I'm coming from.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, Adobe Max is very much like that, where it's like opening one gigantic present only to discover that there's like 150 tiny presents. And then some of those presents you have to open in order, and then some of those presents you can put aside for later, and it's just figuring out what to open first.
Yeah.
Nice description. And Jerry, I'm going to ask you what's been a highlight for you. I know there's been lots, but are you okay to share with one now?
Yeah, actually, look, I think there's been a few, but I want to mention quickly 2 things. Well, one of them, actually, we just mentioned today for K-12, you got additional software. If you've got Spark now, you suddenly have access to Adobe Rush as well as Photoshop Express. So let's not forget the higher education. Earlier this year, we also announced that they are also getting Substance 3D applications as part of their Creative Cloud license. So yes, Adobe's been giving a few things away for both higher education and K-12.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jerry. Erin, how about you?
Oh, crikey. My highlight of the year.
It's like getting married, of course, Erin. That was a pretty much highlight.
Yes. My Adobe-related highlight for the year. Well, yeah, multiple parts. Just like Mark says, it's hard to pick a favorite child, but I always do love presenting during workshops. I think one of my highlights is always during the Adobe Education Summit for Asia Pacific, where we get to do our, creativity days, where we get that opportunity, as Juliet said, that one-on-one opportunity, which is really, really enriching to have people that, if they're not an AEL yet, maybe they're looking at becoming a creative educator, maybe they've only just signed up to the course and they're really interested, and getting that opportunity to talk with those people, sometimes in a group, sometimes one-on-one, and workshop ideas and ask them what they're interested in and give them a little bit of context for what tools are available, so then they can start thinking and exploring and asking questions about, what if we were to do it? I was thinking about doing this in my classroom. Do you know if I can do anything that would achieve this and what tools might be available. And being able to help people have aha moments is one of the favorite parts of both my job and of being an Adobe education leader.
Love those aha moments. That's great. Thank you, Erin. And look, finally from me, the whole year has been a highlight. Just doing this job is a highlight. But when I think about, probably reflect in years to come, doing Adobe Max with Craig, doing that session, Craig, I don't know if I really appreciated it at the time, but to actually get a chance to present at Adobe Max to potentially millions of people, and that content will be there for the rest of the year, it was an incredible honor and a great opportunity, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you, mate.
Thanks, Tim. And it was privilege as well to do it with you and Lisa.
And Lisa Gottfried from New Technology High School in California. So it was terrific for us to be able to collaborate together on that. Look, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the Adobe education leaders, the Adobe creative educators, and every other teacher who's been involved in the various Adobe in education adoption programs that we've run throughout 2021. Oh, Erin, it's been a very busy and exciting year, hasn't it?
It has been a very, very busy, exciting year.
Lots of engagements.
Lots of engagements.
And hopefully
I was very busily trying to note down some of the things that you were saying during your highlights of the year. So yeah, it's very busy with so many exciting engagements, and hopefully we'll be able to meet each other more face to face in 2022.
And I think I better at this stage do a big thank you to Erin, because not only does she co-host this show, but she puts together this incredible Spark page that reflects all the highlights of the show while she's hosting, that we all share together at our fireside chat, which is not recorded after this show. If you haven't been part of it, you need to be on the live audience to be part of that, and you'll be able to see Erin's page. And I try to make sure I publish every one of Erin's pages whenever we archive these particular shows through timkitchen.net and through the Inject Creativity Live website. So thank you, Erin, for all the work that you do put on. Now, just to let you guys know, I've actually managed almost 200 online events this year. And Jerry, I think we've got some stats to share. Here we go, 200 online events, an average of about 5 events per week during the teaching terms, impacting over 29,000 teachers and students throughout the year. We've had a reach of over 47,000 ANZ members of the Adobe Education Exchange, and close to, get this, 195,000 for the wider APAC region. And nearly 440 ANZ teachers have successfully earned their Adobe Creative Educator Level 1 badge. So it's been a very busy year and lots of great achievements.
And thank you. Sorry.
You want to thank us, do you?
Yeah. So thank you to all of you who've been involved in these events and helping promote them. We are looking forward to continuing this momentum into 22. And of course, a big thank you for all of the work that Tim's put in. That's averaging at least 1 per business day. And I know some days you've had 2 or 3 events back to back. And yeah, Roadrunner doing an amazing job.
Thanks, Erin.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
All right, to help us with our 2022 planning for this show, we'd like you to complete the following anonymous survey, which is coming up now on the QR code. So I'm just going to talk slowly while you get your mobile devices out and scan that code. There's a link there as well. The link is bit.ly/Adobe-ICL22. So we'd love you, if you're watching this live, please go ahead and scan that and get that survey done. It's anonymous. We just want to get some more information to you. What sort of information are we looking at there, Erin?
You'll be asked questions like your preferred day and time to watch the show, and also you'll be given an opportunity to provide optional or additional comments, maybe about what you'd like to see.
So we'd love to get your contributions. We might change the day, we might change the time. This is the first time we've run the show this late. I'm a bit tired, so it may not happen again next year, but it might be the best time for you. So we'd love to get that feedback from you. Now, if you're on Facebook and you're not already a member of the Australasian Adobe Education Community Facebook group, please join via facebook.com/groups/AUSAEL.
This is a great way to keep regularly involved with Adobe in education and the wider community.
Right, let's bring our guests back up. And Jerry, I think we need to match what Erin's been doing all of this program and get into the festive spirit. Where are you, Jerry? Don't leave me hanging there, mate.
Tim is our fearless leader. We'll need to elf up accordingly, won't we, Jerry?
There we go.
There we go.
All right. So our next Inject Creativity Live event is currently planned for Wednesday, February the 9th, Wednesday the 9th of February at 6:30 p.m, but we may change that depending on the survey results.
So for that episode, Jason Lane from Brisbane is down as our AEL presenter with the topic Start with Spark, begin your academic year with creative flourish.
For those watching the recording of this episode, join us live if you can in the future. It's always much more fun and interactive when you are live.
And for those who are watching live, get ready to move to bluejeans.com/kitchen.adobe for our brief fireside chat. And we will see you all at the next episode.
Special thank you to Jerry and Erin for helping to put this show together.
Special thank you to Ross, Craig, Juliet, and Mark for their contributions to this episode.
Have a festive holiday break and enjoy some quality time with family and friends.
So let's hear a brief farewell comment from Ross, Craig, Juliet, Mark, and Jerry.
Let's start with you, Craig.
Look forward to the break, everyone. Well,
Ross.
This year.
Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Juliet.
I'm very, very attentive to my lag. Have a laughter-loving and wonderfully safe Christmas and holiday break, and come back ready to learn more and play more in this Adobe sandpit.
Mark.
圣诞节快乐 and also Selamat Hari Natal, which is Merry Christmas.
Good on you, mate. Jerry.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy the nice break, and we'll see you in the new year.
Erin.
And to everyone out there and everyone joining us here, I hope that you get to see everyone that you want to see. And if you can't see them in person, then you get to speak to them on the phone. Take care of yourself. Best wishes from me and mine, and see you in the new year.
Thanks, everyone. Give us all a big wave, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the 9th of February next year for our 56th episode. And now we're about to close episode number 55. See you later. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of Inject Creativity Live. For those who are watching live, join us via bluejeans.com/kitchen.adobe for an informal, non-recorded fireside chat to meet and interact with our presenters, as well as complete the feedback form and apply for a professional development certificate. If you are not watching this live, join us live next time. Use this QR code or link to find out more about dates and topics. On behalf of Dr. Kitchen and Erin Raithke, don't forget to keep being creative.